When people ask me, for example, what's up with, aren't you mad? Didn't you just want to hit her? Somebody actually put in the comments, you lucky Coach Fatima didn't pull that scarf off your head and choke you with it or something like that. You don't know me. I would never do that. The people that know me and love me in my day-to-day life know. You won't get hit for that because, see, this was consensual. She didn't make him do anything. And he's grown.
Warning, viewer discretion is advised. The content, viewed as an educational material you are about to experience, could challenge your belief, trigger strong emotions, and frankly, piss you off. This isn't for everyone. If you're not ready to confront new ideas, or if your feelings bruise easily, this might be the time to click away. Expect to be challenged, to think, and you might even want to scream at the screen. Proceed with caution, and remember, you chose to be here. Let's get it.
Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Fatima, Coach Fatima, 1/3 of Outstanding Personal Relationships and co-author of a new book, Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored. But you may also know me as the Confidence Coach. I help high-achieving women step into their power so that they can live a life of true fulfillment. Now, let's get into this video. One thing that's very alarming that I've learned about more in the space of being a coach for polygyny is that there's a lot of violence going on among co-wives. We can't ignore it because it happens. Now, you yourself might not be one of these women, and I love to say it all the time. If it doesn't apply, let it fly, but let's get educated. Now, some women do put their hands on each other, and we should be safe from one another's hands. Now, many have this mindset that my co-wife steps in my space, I'm punching her in her face. Now, is that the right mindset to have? Because, now ask yourself, if not for yourself, then someone you know or someone you know of, or maybe just so you have some beneficial knowledge and go to another level with it. Let's go 10 levels deep with this. If it's not you, that's good. And I'm glad. And that shows so much about how classy your character is. Now, some people get angry. Some co-wives get angry with one another. They don't talk to each other. They said, look, I'm not friends with her. I don't want to be. And that's okay. Maybe you're not there yet, but never say never. Who knew? I used to say that all the time. I'm like, polygyny is for him, not me. I didn't make the decision. But at no time did I ever go up to my co-wife and strike her, yell at her, curse her out, use foul language, threaten her in any way, shape, or form. That does not mean I agree with the process of things. That will never change. It will never change. And that's not to say something haram or forbidden was done. It just means I would have appreciated a different approach. So, interestingly enough, but again, alarming, is that co-wives do engage in physical altercations and violence, and sometimes they unalive one another. One might come after the other one. So, if we dissect it and say, let's look at it from the viewpoint of the husband. He doesn't want his wives fighting. And if he does, there's a deeper problem than we know. If he finds this elating in any way, that his ladies are fighting one another, that something else deeper is going on with him. But a man that is truly trying and doing and showing through his actions and being there for his wives and practicing fairness as best he can, does not want to see his wives fighting one another. He wants the opposite. He wants some peace. He wants peace. So if my co-wife steps into my space, there's control there when I think, I can hit her. She married my husband. And you get hit. That's not the right mindset to have. Because if we, again, look at it, our husbands decided to marry again. She didn't make him. She didn't drag him to the marriage, things of that nature. Because at the end of the day, he can decide to get married again in polygyny, get married in monogamy. He can decide he wants to get divorced, and it would take a lot of steps to do so. But that's important to understand that when people ask me, for example, what's up with, aren't you mad? Didn't you just want to hit her? Somebody actually put in the comments, you lucky Coach Fatima didn't pull that scarf off your head and choke you with it or something like that. You don't know me. I would never do that. The people that know me and love me in my day-to-day life know. You won't get hit for that because, see, this was consensual. She didn't make him do anything. And he's grown. He's grown. My husband is grown for real. He's been grown since he was a teenager. And I don't summon him. And I don't beckon him and tell him, you better do this and you better get over, what I got him for if I can do that? That's not a desire that I have. And it's never been a desire of mine to put my hands on my co-wife. So when it happens, my mind goes, this man, this husband, decided that he wanted to marry her. You are married to your husband, not your co-wife. If there are issues in your marriage, there were likely some issues before polygyny. That doesn't mean you're a horrible wife. It doesn't mean you're an evil woman or a horrible person. It doesn't mean he is. It didn't have to be any issues. He could have just wanted to. And it's about becoming more. It's not just wanting to for decoration. Let's get that clear. It's not about wanting to for decorations. This is very difficult work, but it's not impossible. It is doable with the right mindset. And one of those mindsets is understanding that your marriage is your business, not somebody else's. The common people get all upset with me and Coach Nazir and Coach Nyla. They get super triggered and upset because it is the optics of him sitting between us. Who does he think he is? Who do they think they are? They make me sick. We might make you sick, but we got the solution. We might make you sick, but there's some antidote over here. We had to struggle. We didn't have anyone that was supporting us other than small circles of friends. I know I did. I'll speak for myself. Because I could be wildly popular my whole college life up until now, and I was popular. But let me tell you, that doesn't mean you have friends. So I may love color and these things like that, but this is not for decoration. Polygyny and being purposeful in it and proactive is important. Our intentions are important. So punching my co-wife in the face if she steps in my space has to be understood that we should be safe from each other's hands. Now, if we need to communicate and have discussion and say, listen, these are my concerns, and hear each other out and be mature, that's incredible. That speaks of your character too. That doesn't mean you have to be agreeable. That doesn't mean you have to like what happened. That doesn't mean you're just going to forget things that happened to you. It just means, okay, let's reach a compromise. Let's set a boundary. Let's do that. Let's agree to disagree even. See, being a co-wife shouldn't be about corruption. It should be about cooperation. That doesn't mean you have to be stove together. It doesn't mean you have to live together. It doesn't mean you have to be friends with one another. Please, 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 do not compare your chapter 1, 2, or 3 with our chapter now 14 years in polygyny, because it's not fair to you. It's not fair to you. And it took years for us to get to where we are now so that we can help others. So that we can be people that you can go, okay, look, I need to have a mature conversation without judgment and without somebody being a jerk or a jester, playing in my face about polygyny, because this is bothering me. I don't know what to do. And one of those ways we do that is that we have our polygamy community, and you can join at any time at polygamycommunity.com for details. We have different areas, different classrooms, and you can unlock different levels within those classrooms as you level up. So we have an area for women, we have an area for men, we have a general discussion area, and we have all these little interesting things in there, and I love it because I get to interact with women. And again, they're like-minded. That doesn't mean we agree with every single thing, but they're like-minded, and we can really have mature conversations and have some understanding. Because a lot of times between co-wives, there's a misunderstanding and someone's not being heard or considered even, or considered. Because polygyny is not just happening to one person, it's happening to more than one person. So we all have a story and we should be able to be heard without putting hands on one another. Okay. So I just wanted to say that if you made it this far in the video, put cooperation down in the comments and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time we have a video uploaded. And we also have a blog. We have so many different things. So check us out. But definitely go over to our community at polygamycommunity.com for details. Now, I'm going to sign off with some GOC. Remember, I'm Coach Fatima, the confidence coach. And I will see you guys in the next video. But make sure you're growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, connecting at a higher level every single day. See you guys in the next one. Salam alaikum.